Hello and welcome to the Towing Life podcast. This week is a little different. Plain Guy threw this upon me, and I haven't even seen what you're about to see yet. So this is going to be an interesting episode. I am not a part of it. Once this little segment is done, you will not have to see my ugly mug for the rest of the podcast. I know, hold your applause. But this is going to be a little different episode than normal, so we'll just get into it. I hope you will enjoy, and I hope I enjoy as well, because this is new to me too.
It's not like you're live or anything. It's just that it's recording. The reason is G likes to get like dumb stuff talking. Yeah, stuff we're talking about. No, it has nothing to do with comfort.
It is for me.
The more awkward you are, the better. No one's expecting you to be a professional here. You have never done a podcast. You have had one failed attempt. And, sorry, we is a team.
Failed attempt.
Marriage is a team, so I will say we. You know what? I'm not even wearing my wedding ring.
That's nice.
I should probably put it's on the table. I took it off yesterday when I showered, and I forgot to put it back on. I probably should put it on. So you are referred to as Robyn, wife of Plain Guy. I like that we can give you the little title below your name now. That's new. Should I go Plain Guy, husband of Robyn?
Well, I'm surprised you didn't put it as
that. You can't do.
Sorry. Okay, I won't mix my drink.
You can drink it, but just sit there and swirl it.
But it settles.
I understand. I'm just saying it picks up everything.
All right.
I'll put my wedding band on. I feel like if we're going to do a podcast about towing and about how us being married, it's probably.
Or I could take mine off.
No, you need yours on. People are more likely to proposition you without a wedding ring than they are me.
What do you mean?
Well, you are more likely to get hit on not wearing a wedding ring than I am.
You don't know that.
I mean, I am famous.
I mean, when you have your get-up on.
The work uniform just does it. I wonder if it's actually coming through the door to you. There's no way.
Yes, you talk loud. Hey! I can hear you.
Oh my God, that is crazy. Hey! I can hear that. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. That's why I don't like it when you record and I'm trying to watch TV.
It's really not that soundproof in this room, eh?
No.
Welcome to the Towing Life podcast, where the ditches are deep, the trucks are loaded, but the drivers are not. I am your host, Plain Guy. And this week, my usual co-host, Mr. Towman G, is not here due to a scheduling conflict. So, I don't want you to worry. I am joined by someone far more special in my life. My reason for being the absolute rock in my life, my wonderful wife, Robyn. How are you, Robyn? How are you?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
Well, considering we're sitting in two separate rooms in our house, we can have a conversation. I feel like we are absolutely biting into the millennial approach to marriage and relationships.
Well, we'll give it a go.
It is a good time to mention before we get into it, if you have any questions, comments, concerns for the show, where can you reach out? You can visit us at www.towinglife.ca. You can email us at thetowinglife@gmail.com or by visiting our Facebook page at the Towing Life Podcast on Facebook. If you are watching over on the YouTube side, because G is not here to remind me, do not forget you can always leave a comment down below. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. The more we get, the more appreciative we are. Our network continues to grow. Our listenership continues to grow, and we are more than happy to have you here week after week. So that being said, Robyn, it is your show. Take it away. No. She's not.
Bye.
This would be the shortest episode of the Towing Life podcast ever. So, don't forget, we do have our recovery of the month going on. Submit now. You get a chance to win a $50 Amazon gift card, $50 Canadian Amazon gift card, as well as a spot in our 2024 calendar. We've done January, March. I keep forgetting months. We have done January, February, March, April will be coming out on the last episode of the month. So be sure to get your submissions in. You can head to towinglife.ca/recovery. Also our merchandise store where you can get all these wonderful hoodies. Towing saved me from becoming a porn star. Now I'm just a hooker. Available now on our store, towinglife.ca/shop. There's also a couple designs up there, actually by Robyn, if I'm not mistaken. You've designed a couple of the merchandise that we've had up there for wives of operators and that kind of thing. So be sure to get them there. So we have talked over, you have been mentioned in many, 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 many episodes. Most times good. Maybe a joke here or there. So before you kill me for any of those, it is a fresh slate today.
Oh, okay.
But we have talked about a lot the strains of relationships because of the towing industry. Now, someone like yourself who has been around for a very, very long time in the towing industry, being married and before that with me, has seen a lot. So before we kind of get into it on, the questions, different things I have, I wanted to give a little background of you and I. Now, you're going to correct me because every time that I tell a story that has anything to do with any sort of history of us, I'm normally wrong.
Yeah, you are.
So would you like to? Would you?
No, you can have a go at it and I'll just,
How about give your first impressions of what you thought meeting a tow truck operator.
Well, you were the first one, so I didn't have anything to reference it to.
And the last one. No, what I mean is when we early started dating. So Robyn and I have been together. It's going to be 9 years together and 5 years married this June. So we were together for 4 years before we got married. And I've been in the towing industry for about 10 years, 11 years actually. So our whole relationship has been involved in the towing industry one way or another.
Yeah.
Right.
Our first date was in a tow truck.
Our engagement was in a tow truck. And there was a tow truck at our wedding. So it is about, when we talk about the beginning of where we started, this is two old photos that we had to pull up. I remember the one on the left for sure. It was at the Quebec Tow Show. I couldn't tell you a year.
That would have been during our first year.
That was in our first year. God, I looked much.
Pretty sure.
My beard was much shorter. And I still
Yeah, your beard's better now.
And your hair color has changed 17 times since then.
Oh, I'm sure it's been more than that.
And then down in the bottom right was the moment I knew you were the one, when you were out washing the tow truck for me. I remember that was a night at the shop. I don't remember the details, but I think you just wanted to play with a pressure washer. And I said, sure, my truck is dirty. So like we said, our first date wasn't a tow truck. It was met for coffee, went for a little stroll. Tow truck wasn't very far. Did we do any calls on our first date? I don't think so.
No. We went and grabbed coffee, then went by the water, took a walk. Then you brought me back to the shop. Yeah. And then we just kind of hung out by the en route, and then you dropped me off.
By the en route? Really? I don't remember that part.
Yeah, we went and parked. Nothing happened.
Nothing happened. It was the first date. She's a respectable woman. Nothing happened. Okay. So let me ask you then, going back to the beginning of the relationship and before we were married now, because now you're committed. Now you're stuck. Right? Like,
well, let's not.
We've been at it so long now that nothing is surprising. But going back to the early years of our relationship, what were some of the things you hated the most about the towing industry?
That you were never home. Mind you, that hasn't really changed. I've just learned to deal with it, I guess, a little bit better. Or I guess having to constantly deal with your absence of whether or not we were supposed to have dinner or some other kinds of plans, and then, oh, just kidding, I'm not coming home. why don't you come with me? Was a big part of our relationship, was accommodating what was supposed to happen into a tow truck.
Well, that's true. That's true, right? In my defense, it led to spontaneity, right? It was
No.
never planned things. It was never. Towing is hard on relationships, and I'm a big advocate for this. I truly believe in this. The fact that I have found somebody like you that has hung around for this long and loved me through it all is amazing. But a lot of people can't do that, right? It's how many times have we missed birthdays? Family get-togethers. Have you had to go alone to these things because I've been out, I've been busy, I've been working, I've been, and it's easy to just say, well, then don't. Like, just say no. But that's not the towing industry. And I think that's something you've kind of learned over the years, is that when I said I wanted to be home, I wanted to be home. When I said I wanted to be at these family get-togethers, I wanted to be at them. But unfortunately, towing is a 24-hour service. And the only thing I think that saved me, and I used to use as an argument with you all the time, was that I'm helping people. Did the thought of that the towing industry is helping people, like it is, you know what I mean? People stranded on the side of the road. I remember missing a Christmas. I don't know if you remember that, because I had a couple that I brought down to Montreal for their Christmas dinner, if I'm not mistaken, and I missed ours.
Honestly, I don't remember. There's so many that you've not been around for different things that it just kind of blurs together. I get the fact that you're helping people, but then it eventually starts to become like, okay, so when are you going to help me? When are you going to help our, little family? I've always said it, that job is up here and I'm down here.
That's not true. It goes job, dog. No, job, you, dog.
Yeah.
Dog.
Yeah.
Dog is, you're not below the dog. I love you more than the dog. I love my job. Unfortunately, a lot of times more, it feels like more. I do get that. I do get that. And this is not a shit on PlainGuy session. That is not what this is about, to tell everybody that I love, my job more than I love you. But at the
same time, you want me to talk, so
you want me to talk, and you want me to talk about towing. It isn't going to be good things.
Not all of it.
What are some of your most memorable moments, though, then with the towing industry and with being the wife of a tow operator? Yikes.
What do I remember the most?
Like a most memorable, a happy moment, positive from, specifically our relationship and the towing industry.
Kind of put me on the spot there.
Wow.
Towing is not exciting to me.
No, but I don't mean but I mean, like, you've seen some things while we've been on the road. We've met different people that we've towed. Like, are there anything?
Oh, okay. One of the recent ones was, it was at Sudbury.
Yes, it was up near Sudbury
when we went to the waterfall.
Yep.
So that was really nice.
So for this trip, for anyone that's wondering what it was, is we were doing a run. I want to say it was 7 hours one way, 8 hours one way, give or take. And it was kind of on a timed run, so we had to leave bright and early in the morning. I remember we left about 5 o'clock. We got up there in the afternoon. We had a specific time to pick up, and then we got partial way back before we grabbed a hotel for the night.
And I slept the whole way.
Yeah, and she slept. Like, bringing her along was great. It wasn't for entertainment, because I mean, she'd be sleeping over in the passenger seat. And it was in a flatbed. It was in a day cab, like a regular cab flatbed. So it was not the comfiest position. I remember telling her when we left, look, our next stop is here. If you gotta pee, I don't care. This is where we're stopping. This is where we're getting.
Hey, but
this is where we're getting.
I'm good for that. I have never once said, I need to pee, you need to stop now.
No, that is fair. You have always given me kind of a head.
I will hold it until I have to.
We've never had you pee on the side of the road on a road trip.
I won't. I've never done that
It's
ever.
completely off the table. It's not going to happen in any way, shape, or form.
I would. The only way it would happen is if I had one of those.
Female
Like,
peeing products.
yes.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I got a fun question for you. So if I were to die tomorrow, that sounds dark, in a non-towing related accident, right? I mean, I'm skiing the Swiss Alps and something goes terribly wrong and I die, and after a proper mourning period of, I would say, about 10 years, based on how great I am.
Right.
Do you think you'd ever, if you had to do this all over again, would you ever get involved in the industry or somebody in the industry?
Probably not. I mean, like, it would depend on the person, obviously. Like, I stuck it out with you, but and I'm sorry, I do love you.
Real vote of confidence on that one. I stuck it out with you.
But yeah, it's not like I would be actively looking for a tow operator to be like, let's do this again.
No, but you met somebody in their tow operator, that'd be like a red flag at that point. Be like, nah, not doing this again. Never again.
I don't know. I can't really say yes or no because it would depend on the person.
We're playing in a fictitious world here. It doesn't have to.
Okay, then.
Okay.
Fuck, I don't know.
Okay. No. So
it wouldn't be my first option.
Okay. So anyone listening to the show, we thank you for coming. Just keep in mind, if something were to ever happen to me, you do not stand a chance with my wonderful wife. It is a red flag. Towing is done and over with. I just wanted to get that on the record.
All right. Let's stop talking about you dying.
Really? I mean,
as much as I wish it sometimes. No.
The tone you're taking into the show, I feel like this might be what you want to talk about.
No.
So let's get into. So we've been married. We were together for 4 years before we got married. We're going to get into some fun that we had with the wedding. Like I said, the interpretation of our integration of a tow truck into our wedding, which I think was absolutely epic.
That's how much I love you.
Listen, I had no say in our wedding.
Actually, you did. I wanted you to have say.
Okay, but I didn't care about anything in our wedding. That's a better way to say it. I didn't care if the flowers were blue, purple, red, what color my suit was.
Yeah, but you're full of crap because when I would tell you different things, you'd go, I don't like that. So, yeah, you did have an input.
The only requirement that I had for the wedding was that we somehow integrated a tow truck into it, which we did. So fine, because we're still on that topic anyways, we will get to it. So as a wedding, one requirement that I had is, because I didn't want a blue suit. I remember that. I didn't want a blue suit. That part I remember. But we ended up with a damn blue suit. But we brought in a tow truck, and the company that I worked for at the time was about 4.5 hours away from where we got married in our hometown. So they drove this truck down specifically for these photos. That's all it was. They came down, they went to the wedding, they went to the reception. They were awesome, great people. And we brought the tow truck in, and it was a Z boom with the wheel lift folded up, and we put "just hooked" on the bottom of the wheel lift. This was the vehicle that we drove away after our ceremony from our outdoor, whatever you want to call it. What do you call that? Our venue or ceremony venue, to the reception, to the photos. So Robyn had some great ideas for some photos. Feel free, anyone watching, to steal these ideas, because in all fairness, one of the photos that we'll show you is one that I actually stole myself from somebody else's idea. So again, the look you are giving me in the bottom right corner as I am in the truck, that photo right there sums up the towing industry and marriage. It's like,
yep. See you later.
Leaving again. And so one of my favorite photos that we did find on the internet that we wanted to recreate was this photo right here, which is you in your full poofy wedding gown, running the controls with the winch line hooked up to my ankles, reeling me back in. Not that it ever mattered. You were never able to fully reel me back in, but that's
because you wouldn't let me.
But that photo right there as much as you didn't want towing as a part of as much as you didn't want it as part of the wedding, it had to be, right? Like, it had to be. Our first date, our engagement, how would we not have put one in to the wedding?
It's because I'm a loving person.
You are a very loving and a very understanding person.
I even made you a cake.
That's right.
As the tow truck.
We had a second wedding cake that was a tow truck. I do remember that as a wonderful surprise. Towing is a career full of different situations, from vehicles missing a wheel to having none at all. A great operator learns to use all the tools in both his physical and mental toolbox. I'm here today to tell you about a new, exciting tool to add to your physical toolbox, the BakPul Hitch. Like many people on the internet, I had my doubts about this product. Doubts I personally aired on this podcast. But the fine folks over at BakPul Hitch sent me one of their products to try, and boy, was I surprised. Its quality of build and ease of use made me eat my words real quick. So if you're a doubter like I was, head over to bakpulhitches.com for more information and to find out how to add another tool to your toolbox. That's BakPul Hitches.com. Being that you have been around towing for 9 years now, we're going to get into a little trivia before we get into some other topics that I want to go over, and we're going to see how well you do in the towing industry, in your knowledge of the towing industry. Okay. First one's a little tough, but we're going to see if you can do it.
It's going to show how much I don't listen when you talk.
Oh, that is true. Name 3 tow truck manufacturers.
Like who makes the
tow truck? Yeah.
Metro?
Yeah, they are a manufacturer. Yep. That's one.
Is a Hino?
A Hino is
or is that type of?
That's the truck, not the wrecker or the towing equipment on the back.
Can I come back to that one?
Okay.
I need more time.
100%. All right. Question number 2. What is a snatch block?
Something you use.
Very, very accurate. Yep.
I don't remember what that one is.
You don't remember what a snatch block is? Okay. All right. What are skates? And we're not talking.
Are those are those like the things that are like part of the wrecker that you pull out and they have like a little?
I think you're thinking of spoons.
Oh yes, that's what I'm.
No, we were talking about skates.
I don't know. You're making these really hard.
Okay, well, I thought you might get that one. What is a wheel lift?
That's that thing?
That thing? That thing with the hand gesture? Also, what's a wrecker?
Okay. That's the type of vehicle that was at the wedding.
Okay, yes, that's also a wheel lift, is what's on the back of that. A wheel lift. It lifts the wheels. Pretty self-explanatory.
Oh, the thing that comes out.
Yeah, and lifts the wheels. Yep, the wheel lift. Pretty self-explanatory. And can you name 3 roadside assistance providers?
CAA.
Yep. See if you know anymore.
It's like OnStar.
No, OnStar provides roadside assistance through a roadside assistance provider.
OPP.
No, they are a provincial police service that I guess mandate towing, but no, they are not a roadside assistance provider.
I don't know. You only ever deal with CAA or CAA.
That's fine. Okay, CAA, DAA, PDG, Sykes, Assistenza, Road America. There's.
Okay, I've only ever heard of CAA and Sykes.
Okay, you heard of Sykes. Well, you didn't say Sykes.
Yeah, because it's very rare that you actually talk about it.
Well, it's because I don't like dealing with them. Anyways, name 3 tow truck manufacturers. We're coming back to that one. You're at your 5 questions, so
Just for the record, you made really hard questions.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know how to make easier questions. Okay. While you're figuring that out, we will go over what is a snatch block. A snatch block is the pulley that we put on the winch line. A snatch block has two purposes: for reducing the load on the line or for changing the angle of the pull. Remember that thing? It's got a chain or a hook on it with a pulley, and we run the line through it and it goes in a different direction.
No, because I'm not a tow truck driver.
I identify as a tow truck.
Yeah. It's my secret identity.
And these...
Okay, but seriously though, I'm not the operator.
No, but
I'm not going to know those things.
Okay, well, do the skates, the little plastic, they look like skis, and we pound them under wheels.
No.
Oh.
Again,
What
I'm not the one doing that.
Want me to ask you then? What is a tow truck?
I don't
Who's
know.
your favorite tow truck operator?
Not you.
Like, what do you want me to ask you?
I don't know. Something a little easier.
I couldn't think of easier. I tried and racked my brain for a whole 30 seconds, and I could not come up with something easier. So I apologize for that. To you, to the listener, to everyone, I apologize for not making my questions easier. So I want you to be able to give advice, being that you have been successfully married to me for so long and together so long, that I think there is nobody better to give advice on to anybody else that's listening or to their other half in the industry on ways to deal with things. Like, how have you managed with the chaos of the timing of the industry? Like, what have you, like, have you found a trick for, you know, when I'm not going to be home because a long run came in, or a late at night call, or anything like that? Like, is there any tips and tricks you can give to other people that might be in that same situation on how to deal with it?
Oh God. Well, you have to be able to be okay by yourself. If you constantly need to have someone 24/7, it's not going to work.
Yep.
I'm somebody who is okay with being by myself, but even at times it's hard for me. I would say that whoever is the operator, you need to really take into account when you are home, making sure you are present. So the towing industry takes so much time that you have to make sure that you're still having time for at home. You need to somehow disconnect from time to time and put that energy that you put into towing into your other half. Because eventually that other person is going to just say, screw you, I'm done. And I'm not going to lie, there's been lots of times when I wanted to say that to you, because I think you forget, because I'm so understanding, that I'm going to stick around forever.
No, I think what you said at the beginning of that was the most important. It wasn't just about be home, it was be present. Right. I am guilty, and anyone who is invested and adamant in the industry and passionate about the industry can run into those same issues, because it's addictive. There's a lot of fun, there's a lot of good. And what happens is whenever you come home, you don't shut it off. Right. Hell, when I come home, if it isn't towing, it's the podcast, which is more.
And look at that, I'm a part of it now too.
Yeah, exactly. You have integrated your way into every part of my life. But no, it's true. It's not only be home, but be present. Meaning, take that time to walk through that door. Take that minute or two you're going to need outside. Right. And this goes on both ways. It doesn't just go with being present in the relationship, but this is going about leaving the bad stuff out on the road. Right. Whether it be the good and the excitement you have for the industry, and giving that one-on-one focus and attention to your wife. We don't have any kids, so like it's been easier in that sense, if it's okay to say that. Like the only person that I need to worry about whenever I'm home is you. It's not you plus the kids plus and the dog, but
yeah,
and the dog. But what I'm saying is, it's negative effects that you have at work are easy to bring home. Like everyone can do that, right? Everyone can bring a bad day that they had at work home, right? And I'm not saying tow operators are any different, but sometimes bad days for tow operators can be a lot worse, meaning, you know what I mean? Accidents that you've dealt with, scenarios that you've dealt with. Leave that stuff at work. Come home, spend the time, right? Steal that time away from the industry before it consumes you and spend it with somebody that you love. Because that is, and I'm a hypocrite saying it because I've been just as guilty of it, like you said. It is very easy to get caught up with it and just go, this is my life, this is my passion, this is my whatever. But at the end of the day, when retirement eventually comes 50, 60 years down the road, what it feels like lately that it's that far away, you're going to want them there. And if they're not there, it's going to make for a tough time. So I think that's great. That was one of the questions I have is what advice do you have for tow operators for dealing with their partners? And you would say be present in moments.
Yeah, be present. You know, when you have the opportunity, try and do things to show that you still appreciate them or you still are thinking of them even when you're gone for long periods of time. Something as simple as a note for whenever they got home, you know, thought of you or miss you, whatever. Sending them flowers saying, you know, just because I love you, or I'm a very, like, I need my, my love language is very much touch and, you know, what's the other part
Physical
of that?
contact, hugs, cuddling,
Yes.
touching, kissing,
So
all the, yes, so I'm
just
aware.
just as something as simple as sitting on the couch and holding my hand. It makes a huge difference. We don't have to do anything, but making sure that you are doing little things so that the other person doesn't feel like they're just there.
Yeah, that's it. Like I said, it's focusing that time, putting as much, if you can put as much, if you're truly passionate about the industry and you can put as much time and attention in your relationship as you do into the industry, you'll do well. If you're like me, who has been taking notes of what my wife has been saying on things that to do to make her feel better, then you have not done your job in putting in as much time and passion into your relationship as into the industry. So be sure to do that. I think it's easy, like the towing industry, and we put it out on our Facebook, and we'll be the first one to tell you that a lot of people have lost a lot of relationships, and it's not all just because the operators are not present when they're there, or they're like you said, there's some people that just can't, whether it be, like I said, can't be alone, don't like to be alone. Not that they can't, they don't like to be alone. They like to, at night, after a long day, have somebody there with them. If you are one of those people and you're a partner with a tow operator, you aren't going to be for very long, right? Like you just can't, right? This industry is very consuming and is very hard to plan and schedule around. I have gotten in the habit now, I do not tell you when I'm coming home. I try not to tell you when I'm coming home. I try not to, because every time that I say, when I was on the road a lot more than I am now, anytime I would say, hey, I'm on my way home, it was almost a guarantee that I wasn't going to make it. So instead, I'm just going to show up. When are you getting home? I don't know. And as soon as I would get free time, I'd rush home and hope to God that, because then if I didn't make it, at least you didn't get your hopes up that he's on his way home and he's gone again. Right? Any advice for anyone with the like middle of the night stuff? And I mean like the getting up and leaving in the middle of the night. Was that a hard part for you when I would get up at, let's say, 2-3 o'clock in the morning out of bed and take off on the road? And like, did that bug you for a while? Did you find ways to deal with that? Like, was that different than, like I said, just me being home late or anything like that?
Well, there's always in the back of my mind, especially with being on the 401. It's scary to know that, you know, people are assholes and don't move over. And something can happen in a matter of seconds. So yeah, it's not always the nicest feeling knowing that you're out. One thing that, and it's not for, because we don't have any trust or anything like that. But when we had our tracking on our phones, it was a way for me, if I woke up, I could just simply look and see that you were moving. And then it kind of put my mind at ease that, okay, you're still going.
Yep.
We're good.
Yep.
I don't need to call you. because you are busy, and if it's 2:00 in the morning, I don't really want to call if I don't have to. But it's a way for me just to put my mind at ease.
Yeah. No, I remember, especially when we were apart, we were living apart at a while. Not, it was just because of schooling and different things. We set it up that when I get home, just to know that I made
Yeah.
it home at the end of the day, okay. And no, it's definitely, like I said, it never comes down. There's a lot of people that probably wouldn't have that on their phones because trust issues are real in a lot of relationships. But no, having it on it, that you could find out always where I was. I've even used that one time. You had to help me find my phone because I believe it was in the truck, but I couldn't find it. And I'm like, hey, track me. Where does it say I am?
Yes.
You're here.
Yes.
Okay, way too many.
You left it in another truck.
Tracking me again. No, it was in the truck I was in. But I was like, track me again. Oh, it's here. I'm like, okay, so it's in the truck with me. I know it's moving with me. I just don't know where it is. So no, absolutely. Those are little things that you can do to help put your spouse, your other half, your partner at ease, is having that ability. Because you're right. It is, and we don't like to be out on the highway either. And we kind of put that fear after you've done it for so long. You don't think anything of it. It could be 2:00, 3:00, 4:00 in the morning. You're out on the 401. I don't think any different than if it was 2 PM on a side road. It's just because it's the norm, but to you, it's not the same, right? It's the highway, it's the traffic, it's the, how many close calls have we had already? About half of them. You try not to share all of them because it just builds nonstop worry. But no, being with having a partner in this industry, if you can survive this industry, goes a long way because it is tough. There is long days, there is rough days, there is bad days, and we all have them. And so to have someone to be able to come home to at the end of the day that you can at least talk about it with and share that with goes a long way for your mental health, right? Towing industry is terrible for your mental health. Terrible for your mental health. If it's not the long hours, the middle of the night, the lack of sleep, the caffeine addiction, the everything else, it's terrible. So being that I'm lucky enough to have somebody like you at home has gone a long way in allowing me to continue and hopefully continue for more and more and more and more years while learning how to become a better husband along the way. You seem excited about that. Long.
Yeah. So excited.
So yes. So anyone that does have somebody at home, remember, they want you home as much as you want to be home. For any partner that is out on the road, remember, we want to be home. When we say, I'll be home in 5, it's because we honestly want to and are trying to. But things happen, right? The industry takes a toll on relationships. Hopefully, the industry will continue to change in positive ways over the years that'll help ease that, and we can get somewhat of a normal life brought to it. I mean, I've never been a fan of normal. Normal is not fun. Normal is not interesting. I don't want to go work in an office. I do enough of it lately, and it's driving me crazy. So, for anyone with someone at home, remember to take the time, be home, be present in the moment. Shut off towing for a little bit and have a little bit of time. That being said, I should probably go do the same and watch a movie or do something with you. Because this weekend,
I mean, it would be nice.
do a whole show on this, and then I'm just gonna walk by you and ignore you. And
Yeah.
I've got work to go do now. So, anyways, on behalf of myself and my wonderful, and like I said at the beginning, rock in my life, Robyn, thank you all for coming out for another episode. I know it's shorter than normal, but we've got a movie and some cuddling and some love language to get to. So, with that being said, thank you very much for coming for another episode. We cannot wait to see you again next week. Take care. You got to say words like bye.
Oh, sorry. Bye.
An audio.
I won't be here next week.
You might.
Well, the next one.
We'll see how the numbers go. And if the numbers are good, well, maybe we'll have you back.
Say peace out, Tomanji. No, just kidding. I won't.